Hello and welcome. It is the occasional vlog. I forgot what I was going to say. So it's a fairly quiet one this weekend. I got to be honest. We had not really planned to do anything, and to be honest, until about lunchtime today, it's Saturday, I hadn't even thought to pick the camera up. Sometimes that happens, you know. I feel like we've had a busy run of weekends and things to do since we got back from the lakes, and the couple of vlogs we've done. You know, we went over to the Lakeland last weekend. We went to Martin Mere the weekend before. But I also feel like we've not really done much, but we have. So I don't know what's going on. And the channel seems to have slowed down. We aren't getting as many views at the minute. I don't know if that's a global thing or if it's just people are bored of us. It's interesting. But I am going to make myself some lunch now. And we're going to have a nice, relaxed weekend. We will be going back to Martin Mere again tomorrow. Have a nice walk round, get some fresh air. As I say, we want to try and do that every weekend. At the very least, is to try and at least get somewhere, even if it's somewhere we go regularly, just to do a bit more exercise and get fresh air as we head into the winter months. Obviously, if the weather's not for us, then, you know, we'll probably have to stick around at home and, do things in the house and so on. We've got a few jobs that need probably looking at. The extractor fan in the bathroom just failed, so that needs replacing. The shed. The shed. So I'll show you the shed. You've probably seen it before if you watch our vlogs. So that shed is like 15 years old now. And as you can see, it's a little worse for wear. I noticed the other day it was leaning even more than it normally is, and what it was I'd actually left the lock off the latch on the door. It turns out the lock's now structural. So I pushed the shed to one side, locked the door, and then just left it. But what I do need to do at some point is get into that shed and start emptying the last few things out of there, and then maybe try to convince it to collapse towards our garden and not towards the fence. That would be the ideal circumstance. But yeah, it is going to come down. It's not in good shape at all. What I need to do is there's a lot of old paint cans in there, so I need to go through and tap them to the tip, or at least find somewhere to put the ones that might still be useful. And all of our garden storage and sheds are full. It seems like half of our vlogs this year have been about sheds. Well, as for me and today, kitchen as usual. I'm going to do what I do when I do the kitchen. I do the stuff that needs doing, which is the pots, because we're rubbish for doing the pots in the week. But I also then will do one task or two tasks that don't get done very often. And today I want to go into the cupboard and declutter all the old, like if we've got any bits of food that have gone out of date. And also this cupboard behind me down here is full of old pots and pans. And I feel like we've got 3 pans that we use regularly and about 9 lids. So I'm going to try and find all the lids we don't need and get rid of them because they're all the old stuff. And that's what we do. We just leave stuff in the back of a cupboard, and I think everyone does that though, don't they? And it just gets forgotten about. And then we're like, we've no cupboard space. It's because everything's just full of old stuff that we don't use anymore. So that's what I'm going to do today, hopefully. I'm just going to get myself a nice tomato soup though. The Covent Garden ones, they've been on offer of late. And we'll catch up later on. We're going to pop to Kaz tonight as well. We have a record for our friend Carl, so we're going to drop that off for him. We were going to go to see my mum and dad tonight, but because Gemma is at work today, we thought it'd be better if we go and see my mum and dad tomorrow. So, I mean, we don't really film there. But it was my mum and dad's wedding anniversary this week, so we'd like to go and see them and drop off a card and a bottle of wine or something. So that'll be nice to do. And as I said, we will do the Martin Mere trip as part of that as well. We'll definitely film at Martin Mere. Our cards came through the other day as well now, so when we signed up for our memberships, we've got a little cards. It's Mr. Mark and Mrs. Gemma. Only they put Mr. Mark and Mr. Gemma. So Gemma's contacted them just saying, this isn't going to be a problem getting in. And they're like, no, it won't be a problem. We'll send you new cards. I was like, we kind of don't need new cards really. We're not too concerned. I've just been sat on the couch this morning with the boys. They've moved now. Reggie has realised I'm up and he's stolen my seat. There's your boys. They were both sort of top and tailed to each other earlier. Sat next to me. It was very, very cute. Not even sure where Pixie is. I'm going to assume she's on the bed upstairs though. I did feel very sorry for Gemma this year. She got a big bowl of sweets for the trick-or-treaters. We had no trick-or-treaters. So she was upset about that because she really enjoys, like, you know, when the kids come and do the trick-or-treating, and she gives them some sweets, and we just didn't get any this year, which was a bit sad. Of course, that means I can eat all the sweets. Although she has taken something for her work colleagues. Anyway, this isn't me making soup, this is me waffling at the camera, which I do every weekend. I do wish this was all of the baking stuff that we owned, but this is just the stuff that was in this one cupboard that I'm really struggling to get into, so I'm going to take the door off it. People laughed at us when we painted our kitchen hot pink, but whoever owned this house before us had lilac. These cupboards are manky as well. I'm giving them a good clean. Not seen Pixie this week, have we, on the vlog? And she was upstairs on a mum's chair. All three of them now, look. Thinking they're getting the dinner. But I continued in the kitchen. Still got loads to do, loads of pots and stuff to do, but I've run out of time now. I need to get over to pick Gemma up. So I'll probably do a bit more later, because I'm cooking tonight. I'm actually going to do as the same meal we had the night that I proposed to Gemma. Sounds very sweet, but it's like the one pasta meal I like to cook, so that's the caveat there, I guess. Yeah, it's basically just a chicken pasta. So I'm going to cook that later when we get home. I've got some garlic bread to go with it. Just fancied a pasta meal tonight. And then tomorrow we've got a few bits from Asda. I wanted to do like a slow cooked beef brisket tomorrow, but we didn't go to Taylor's this morning, and Asda only had beef joints for roasting, not brisket, so that went by the wayside. But never mind. We'll have some nice food tomorrow night anyway. Just some burnt ends. I think it was pork burnt ends or something, or some other beef thing that Gemma picked up. You know where they do that, the boil in the bag type ones. They're usually actually alright as well. But yeah, need to go and pick Gemma up now. So if I remember, I'll try and get a clip in Kaz, show you what beer we drank. If not, we'll probably catch up back later on, and you can say hello to Gemma. They're just eating the food that's all left out for them all day now. We basically give them wet food of the morning, and then the rest of the time they have dry food. But Archie's a bit of a fussy one and doesn't like to eat the dry food, even though he really needs to for his teeth. So he's given up now, started munching on it, so that's good. Quick drink in there, Kaz. I got the joy of search by New Bristol. And we're back home now, and dinner is on. There's quite a lot of tomato sauce. I need to reduce this down a bit, I think. Got the pasta on over there as well. Some garlic bread in the oven. It's going to be a big meal. Gemma's home.
Thank you.
Enjoy, honey. I call it a big bowl of sloppy tomato mush. Enjoy.
Thanks.
Good morning. It's Sunday. Bit of a jump cut. Seems to be a bit of a theme for the channel of late. I don't know. My pasta meal was lovely last night. Enjoyed that. Made far too much, as usual. I always do. I cook a pasta meal for about 8 when there's just 2 of us. But then, to be honest, we sat on the couch, watched a couple of videos, and both just went, well, Gemma was falling asleep immediately, so I did make her coffee. I had like 2 beers, and then we just just got to bed. We were asleep before 11, I think. We're normally we like to stay up to beyond midnight on a Saturday night, watch some films, stuff like that. Last night, I think we were both just done, so we just went to bed. So I'm just getting coffee ready this morning, and then we're going to go over to Martin's meal later. Probably have a bit of breakfast as well, get some bacon. Yeah, should have a nice day. The weather's not amazing, but it's not raining, which is good, so we can get out and about. Very mild of late in Liverpool. The weather has been basically clouds. No sun, no rain. Anyway, we'll catch up with you in a bit. Good morning, Gemma.
What's good about it?
You've got the sniffles again, haven't you? So, we were going to go with my parents today. We have told my mum that we don't want Gemma bringing the lurgy into the house. You have tested for the obvious, and it's not that, but you just got a bit of a sniffle, haven't you?
Yeah.
So we're going to go out and get a bit of fresh air, because Mert and me is mostly outside, so we can go walk around and you get you some fresh air. Probably not make it a super long day. And then I'll cook you some nice dinner later. as in put the stuff that we bought from Asda in the oven.
He's playing with a lollipop.
There he is, little deviant. Reggie is grown, hasn't he?
Yes.
He's had a bit of, he's like his final growth spurt probably, because he is like 3 years old now. But now he's like, he's quite chunky and quite muscular, and he runs around like a lunatic all the time as well.
Not as much as Archie.
No, that's the thing. Archie's gone full kitten mode, hasn't he?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, not the day we planned, because we did want to go and see my mum for. We're a little bit late for the anniversary, but we wanted to drop a car off and a present. But we'll do that later in the week when you're feeling better, I think. And we'll see what we get up to in Martin Mere. Get some fresh air for you. And we're back at Martin Mere. It's quite busy again. It is. Still doing like celebration stuff for Halloween for youngsters as well.
It's for the end of half term.
Yeah, half term. So, but we'll go around and have a nice wander. And we made it in all right. Definitely a lot less windy today. I think we'll just stay on this side today, have a walk around, not go into any of the heights. With Gemma having a bit of a sniffle, we don't want to be going indoors into any of the heights. She wants to get fresher, although the video is never that fresh when there's flamingos about. I think since we so extensively documented the grounds last time, this will be more of a stroll and a capture a few highlights visit. Still nice and peaceful. Apart from the two kids that were pretending to be police cars running through the park a minute ago. we're just waiting to hear like a kid making loads of noise, then a loud splash, then crying, and then an angry goose. These angry geese.
Flying.
Oh yeah. Oh, we didn't see that last time, did we? Let's go and have a look at the Inca terns. The tank geese, yeah. And there's the Inca tern. I wish it was as warm as it is when we go to Discovery Cove, to be honest, but you know, it's where we normally see Inca terns. You thinking about flying?
Yeah.
Filming these two and two other Inca terns flew over. I think one just landed on the roof. It was, yeah, it's just taken off and flown back over here. That was the other one that you just heard. They're very pretty, aren't they? There goes one.
They don't make pretty noises.
No, they're a bit cawy. Unfortunately, I didn't record that, but they were like... Meow. Seabird with a Salvador Dali moustache. Tim Tracker. The magpie goose is having a bath. I mean, does it count as having a bath when you're always in the bath? It was making a big splash though. Got the Carolina ducks in here as well. Here they come.
Carolina ducks
They make
nice
gentle
noise.
trill noises, don't they? But that one wasn't. The ladies make the nice noise. Away. Oh, these boys are making the same noise as well. So we think the screamers were making some noises a minute ago. Well, you do have to be careful because there is a drainage down here that's also making some noise, but it didn't sound like that. This one's definitely seen something over the other side. Yeah, so cool. There they are, they're chattering now. There's the other one. Ah. to come and see another of my favourites. We like the trumpeter swans, although they're quite quiet today. Are these in mourning or something? We've been doing this like all the while we've been walking along here. Slightly less sun glary view of the otters today. Oh. And in the drink. They're on the little float there. We didn't really film in here last time, but there is stuff on show inside. Different things that they have on at different times. When we last came in here, this was where they were doing the what's the name? All the stalls for holidays and cameras. Now we've got swan wings, and this is the shop area. Got some beers from Bowling Brewery here. Mm-hmm. Lots of like socks and cameras as well. Binoculars available further in. The t-shirts are really good in here though. I have to pick one of them up at some point. The eider ducks have woken up. Have a little walk down the wild walk this time. We didn't come this way last time. We did on our first visit. It might get muddy though, so we'd probably end up turning back at some point. Welly boots required. Well, we haven't got welly boots, so we'll just wander down to here and have a peer and a look and see what there is. We have been this way before though, definitely. I remember it all. Giant nest donated by Hothouse I Want Gets Limited. And eggs, sculpted oak by Luke Chapman. That name's familiar, but yeah, there's some eggs. I don't know why it's familiar. Gemma's left me in the muddy bit. We did have a walk along the beam, but it gets very muddy around there, so we'll mooch back. Wow, this is a big bug hotel. Maybe I should just call our old shed a bug hotel. Just fill it full of leaves. It actually is a bug hotel, actually. It's full of them. I don't even think we came this way last time. Extra bit of path. You can buy seed, by the way, to feed the ducks here if you want to. We just don't. And obviously that's going to depend on current status with any bird flu that might be in the area, but we're currently alright. Oh, we got some company on this path. Nothing to worry about then. The barnacle geese. Well, we couldn't come here without more homemade cake. This one is a sticky toffee with a Biscoff spread. Looks really nice. And cappuccinos each as well. Back out for a walk. Gemma wanted to come and see this guy because it's her favourite.
It's like a mini swan. You are, aren't you?
He does make very cute noises. Or she, we're not sure.
You're very, very pretty.
And before we head off, we thought we'd come down and have a look. The pink-footed geese are these?
Yeah.
And the swans we just saw flying in. They just flew over as we were in here. The noise is fairly intense.
It takes a little bit to get fed. I read on the website.
And a lot of youngsters there, look. We're back home, aren't we, honey?
Yeah.
And Pixie's looking after you. You feel a bit better for some fresh air? Oh dear. I'm just playing some Planet Zoo. It's the week before Planet Coaster 2 comes out and I just had an urge. This is the one zoo that I've spent my entire, however many years this game has been out building in solo career mode. So yeah, I spent a lot of time on this over the years. And I had to call it done. I was building here, all round it to the left here, like an extension to the zoo, but at some point I just went, no, this needs to be done at some point. So I stopped at just this bit here. So every time I come back on now, I just go in and I find somewhere and I start adding little bits of details to make it look more realistic. I was just admiring this area that I must have built 2 or 3 years ago at least. Slightly influenced by Flame Tree Barbecue at Animal Kingdom, and then a few bits I added on as well to make it a nice little eatery area. This game's been a lot of fun to play. There's still one expansion that I haven't bought as well. As promised, cooked dinner for Jam.
Thank you.
It looks interesting. And catching up with Luke and Rich. We haven't seen Luke and Rich vlog for a while, have we?
No, we haven't. Probably. Didn't even talk to me. I thought it was onto the vlog.
It's always been fun watching Luke and Rich. They were really nice to us when we were in Epcot that time in 2018. Because we were just walking along and then we just heard, do I see some vloggers? And it was these guys who'd spotted us. Look how cute Pixie is curled up on Gemma's blankie. Well, it's time for Stout Monday. I'm going to try Scooby-Doo. Apple pie ice cream pastry stout. This is one of the ones we picked up from Kaz the other day. Oh, I look rough today. I need to get a shower. I'm going to get one in a bit. Let's give this a try anyway. Ooh, very sweet. It smells lovely. The apples really come through on the smell.
Oh, I can smell apple.
It's nice that, I must admit. I quite like that. That's a good fall for me, that. Good afternoon. It is Wednesday and I'm on my lunch break and I just thought I hadn't did the vlog off, so I thought I'd better do it now. We had a nice weekend. We enjoyed our trip to Martin Mere again. Got some good steps in and had a nice walk around in the fresh air. Gemma's started to feel a little bit better now as well. Still a little bit sniffly, but she's getting there. Seems to have been one that's lingered around a little bit this time. Fortunately, so far, touch wood, I've not fallen sick or anything like that as well. I did feel like I was going to get snifflies today, but so far it seems to be alright. But anyway, we are done with the weekly vlog this week. Next weekend, we're thinking of maybe going for a little date afternoon on the Sunday into town. We want to do a little bit of Christmas shopping and stuff like that before it gets too busy in town. So we might do that, weather dependent. We'll see what happens. But thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Take care of each other. Goodbye.